Yeah, that's right, we are back. Just recently, I've had a few questions about various production elements of the videos, be it music or how to get the clips, cameras, microphones, so I thought I'd put it all together into one behind the scenes video. My main goal when I started making the videos was to keep the process as quick and as simple as possible. And I've enjoyed tweaking the way that I make the videos as I've progressed. The main camera I use for 90% of the video capture is the one on my iPhone 13 Pro Max. I went for the biggest amount of memory possible in the phone to try and keep all of that data storage under control. I set it to 4K. Now the iPhone has a few snazzy features on there. I use the time-lapse feature when I'm doing something mundane that needs speeding up. I also use the slow-mo feature. There's also a cinematic feature on there, which I've got on now, which gives you that trendy depth of field style shot. Now I don't use this an awful lot because it's not really to my taste. I like the background to be in focus. I think sometimes it can be a little bit glitchy because it's not the same as using a prime lens, which gives you that proper depth of field. I think the iPhone does it with a little bit of software. Very clever, looks very cool for certain things, and I guess it's personal preference if you like the look of that. The other camera I use occasionally is the GoPro 8 Black. Now this one can be really handy. It's small, so I can tape it underneath the board for those sort of action shots. It's also quite handy to hold as I'm skating along. It's got really good image stabilization in there. It does add a little bit more of a faff to making the videos. I need to make the clips inside the GoPro and then export them over onto the iPhone app. But it's not a huge hassle, and as soon as I've got those clips into the iPhone, everything's back in-house, ready to be edited. I do find that the GoPro lens gives a slightly different look to the videos, and it can be cool just to set it up in the background and use it as a cutaway camera. The only other camera that's made a brief appearance in some of the videos is the one on my mate's drone. Now this gives an incredible perspective, and drone technology never ceases to amaze me. The shots are really cool. I wish I had a drone of my own that could follow me around and give me that extra expensive boom style perspective. I try to do as much of my filming as I can in the sunshine. Now this is pretty tricky in the UK because the sun has rarely got his hat on. But I find that when the sun is out, the shots immediately look a lot better, and there's a lot more chance of really fast action shots maintaining their clarity throughout. Recording some of the clips indoors is of course a necessity, but I find it a bit of an uphill struggle because even if it seems bright inside, there's usually not quite enough light to keep the image crisp, and if you want to do slow-mos or a freeze frame, those are going to have a little bit of a blur on them. In terms of microphones, I find the one in the iPhone perfectly adequate to capture all the wonderful sounds of skateboarding. However, I do find for the talky bits that the speech comes across a bit better with a dedicated microphone. So I use the Joby Lavier mic. I've got it here clipped onto my t-shirt, hopefully out of shot. Woo! And I find that that one just takes a bit of the room ambience out of the vocal and gives it that nice presence feel. So this is how the talking sounds without the lav mic. 1, 2, 3, testing. Woo-hoo. And this is how it sounds with the lav mic. Testing 1, 2, 3. Now I also find this mic quite handy when out and about doing talky bits. Outside it helps reduce a bit of wind noise. The iPhone's a bit rubbish with the wind noise. And when I'm inside it gives me that more direct vocal, helps get rid of some of the ambience of those big indoor skate parks and some of the background noise. In terms of tripods, I just use a pretty standard telescopic fold-up camera style one, and I also use a little jobby cling on to the side style affair, and I find that with those two I can usually get the angle that I want. And I also have the GoPro on a little jobby number so I can pop that wherever it needs to go. In terms of editing, again to keep things simple, I use the iMovie app right there in the iPhone. I find this is convenient because I can just import all of my various clips that are already on the iPhone and then start editing straight away. When I'm working on a new trick, I usually just set the camera up, get it in position and then leave it running. Try and forget that it's on. This captures all the nitty-gritty, all the thrills and spills, and then I can just import that one big long video into iMovie and just cut out all of the bits where I'm wandering backwards and forwards, getting ready for the next attempt. As I film 99% of the clips myself with the camera static on a tripod, the pictures can look a little bit static. So to introduce a bit of motion now and then, I use an app on the iPhone called Crop and Zoom. This is really handy just to get the best shot and also add a little bit of animation to it. At the end of the session, when I've learnt the trick, I tend to move the camera around. I quite enjoy getting creative, maybe a little bit of a close-up, maybe some different angles, see if I can show every aspect of the trick. And these are there to complement that main one shot that I've done all the editing from. Once all the clips are arranged, it's time to add the music. Now I record all the music myself, and I really enjoy the process of trying to write music that complements the skating. What I usually do is try and get a tempo of the ramp, and I use that tempo to then put a drum beat down. Once I've got the drum beat together, I add in the bass guitar. And then a little bit of guitar over the top. And you may have noticed I've got a bit of a soft spot for wah-wah guitar, also funk guitar, and a bit of blues guitar. I like experimenting with getting the music to fit the sequence. I also like playing around with getting the cuts in time with the music and to complement the music. So here's an example of an edit that I did for Instagram the other day. I think the most challenging part of making the videos is doing the talky bits. I really struggle with this, trying to keep it natural, not put on some weird accent, not use too many catchphrases. I don't work from a script, and in the early days I just used to do the talky bits on location. But I found this was really tricky because there's always something out there that is going to muck up your ability to record the talky bits. Could be a lawnmower, could be a barking dog. And also I like to be mindful of other skateboarders using the area. There's nothing more likely to kill the vibe than some wally talking into a phone over and over again, trying to get what they're saying correct. So I changed my plan and I started recording the talky bits in the back garden shed. Now the beauty of this is it gives me total control, it's nice and quiet, but it did bring some new challenges to the production, and the main one was lighting. I did a little bit of research and I used the classic 3-point lighting method when in the studio. So I've got one big lighting fill to the right of me, I've got a smaller spot lamp up to the left, I've also got a light behind me which I can change the colour of. This provides a variety of different options for the colour of the backdrop, and it also helps me to stand out in the picture and light the backdrop. Once the video is fully assembled, I finish it off by adding in the intro, which is pre-assembled with the music on, and that is the same one as I used for the outro, so I simply paste that over, and then I add in my logo across the top, and jobs are good 'un. Then I export the movie onto the phone, and I go and check it back by watching on my TV screen for any silly mistakes. At this point I usually do a few little bits of tweaking, And then once I'm as happy as I can be, and to be honest, I'm rarely fully happy with the results, it's time to pop it up on the YouTube and keep the fingers crossed. Well, that's it for this video. Overall, I really enjoy the process of trying to make the videos better, and I really do appreciate your feedback, so keep that coming. In the interest of full disclosure, here's a little montage of presenting mistakes so you can get a feel of how rubbish I am at talking to the camera. When I'm filming a video, I usually just put the camera on in one place and try and forget. When I'm filming a video, I usually When I'm filming a trick, I usually just leave. When I'm filming a trick video, I usually. When I'm filming a trick, I usually just set the camera up in position and just leave it on and try and forget it's there. This gives me. When I'm working on a new trick, I usually just set the camera up, get it in position, and then leave it running. Try and forget that it's on. This captures all the nitty-gritty. As ever, my name's been John Bishop, and I'm a middle-aged guy learning how to speak the English language.